What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Franzo with Flex Training Systems, and today going to be bringing you a squat vlog. I'm gonna show you 2 different days here. My workouts are getting a little bit shorter, actually quite exponentially shorter the closer I get to the Arnold, and I figured I would not only just combine the workouts to have more stuff to talk over, but kind of show you how a few days can make a huge difference in terms of recovery. It can also work against you if you have like really, really fast recovery. Maybe you don't need so many days, but basically you're going to see a day here where I work up to like 562 on kilogram plates, feeling just really stiff and shitty, and then at the end you'll see me work up to 635, like pretty smooth. It's actually a gym PR. I've never gone that heavy in the gym before, so looking really good 6 days out from the Arnold. While the video runs, I'm just gonna kind of talk about some things related to the squat that can hopefully help you. So here we go. On this particular day, I was super stiff. So when I warm up and I'm not feeling too good, my entire warm up is I'll just lay on the ground and kind of statically stretch my quads, my lower back, and my hamstrings. And now that I'm squatting in flats and have been for some time, I sometimes stretch my calves, particularly my left calf. For whatever reason, just like my entire life has been ridiculously stiff. I feel like it's just like an old basketball thing. I used to jump off my left leg to lay up with my right hand. So I don't know. It's just super ridiculously stiff. Also, one of my legs is longer than the other, and slightly that might have something to do with it. I'm not too sure, but since we're on the topic of scar tissue and warming up, I'll go through my warm up. I'll do my little static stretching, and then I don't do this right before I squat, but I'll do it like the day before or maybe 2 days before. And if I'm just dealing with a lot of scar tissue, as of late, I have been dealing with a ton of scar tissue, primarily in my quads. I will just take a very hard foam roller and just work it out. Just takes 10-15 minutes to just smash the shit out of my quads, mainly where the quad meets the knee. All I do, this training cycle, all I'm doing is simply, I'm doing powerlifting movements, and then I'm not really doing much else. I'm not even like walking my dogs. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to be as specific as possible for this meet, and then I have 6 months to do all that fun stuff after. So we'll work out the scar tissue. Then on the day of, I'll stretch a little bit, not too much, and then I'll go under the bar, and then I'll do just the bar for a million reps, like 8 reps until I feel good. And then I'll do that high bar, and then I'll do that low bar, and then I'll take 135 high bar and then 135 low bar, or I won't even mess with the low bar until I've done at least 135. Just to really kind of open up my hips, get those synovial fluids moving around the hip socket. And then I'll start warming up. I have also just done, the bar, but the weather and this gym it's just been so freaking cold that I've been doing a little bit extra. I usually don't stretch, to be honest. I think that in powerlifting, you want to be pretty stiff, so you don't have any unnecessary movement, primarily around your SI joint and your back. I mean, I stretch my back a little bit. If I'm gonna bench, I might go on the roller to kind of get my arch going, but I don't really stretch too much. I don't really stretch my upper body at all, ever. Maybe a little bit before bench when it's cold, but you know, I'm not that big on warm-ups. Like, I don't want to take too long warming up. I just want to get mobile enough to get into position, and then I'll get back into it. On this day, so right here you're going to see 551, then 562. Just my quads just felt really, really tight. I don't think I rolled them out too, aggressively the day before. And I just really had to find myself consciously pushing, like thinking about my legs and being aggressive to kind of fight through that scar tissue. If you have not dealt with scar tissue before, it can really like inhibit you. But you just have to know that like it's not necessarily going to affect your performance. Like your strength is going to be there. You just have to like push through it. I have heard instances of scar tissue tearing, but I mean, I know my body very well, so I know like when to push and when not to push. But the foam rolling and breaking up scar tissue, it's not going to be like the all-time solution. Like sometimes foam rolling works for me, sometimes it doesn't, and it's going to take me a little bit extra to get going. So that's a really slow 562 there. And as a younger lifter, I used to be very neurotic about these things, and I would panic whenever I would experience a lift that was not as fast as I wanted it to be. But the longer I've done this, I've just learned that this is part of the game, especially leading into competition. You're going to have a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and you don't want to peak too early, so you need to make sure that your training volume is set up in a way so that on the platform you can be 100%, and before you're still dialing in your technique. Like all I'm doing here is just really trying to make sure my technique is good, move something relatively heavy on this day, not necessarily heavy, 100% based on my training or my platform maxes. So the belt that I have here is the SBD belt. I usually go like 6 notches when I'm doing something super heavy, and then I'll do like 5 notches for pretty much anything else. On this day, you'll see me in a singlet. Nice little transition here. This is 585, 72 hours later. Actually, a little bit less than 72 hours later. Probably more around 60 hours. I go by hours because it helps me dial in, my recovery. I'm wearing a singlet. Some people say that the singlet makes their belt feel tighter. I apologize for the camera angle. I'm doing this is on an iPhone because I forgot to bring my camera. I wasn't actually planning on putting out a video, but I was like, fuck it, I gotta talk to my peeps. So 6:15 here. We're with five notches on the belt. Again, you're wearing a singlet, so it's going to be a little bit tighter, so you might, if you want to go one loose, you can. I'd rather just be safe. And right here, so we got 635. I go all the way to 6 notches on my belt, which is what I can comfortably do when I'm like not bloated and not wearing a singlet, but in the singlet, and I blow a little bit extra for squats. I should probably do a video on that meet day blow, especially if you're like, I'm like 25% body fat here. Right? May not look like it to you, but definitely 25%. I got DEXA scanned recently, so bloating is definitely something that's going to help me on the big lifts. Really trying to just make sure I'm very stable. One of the benefits of squatting low bar is that you're going to be more stable. I can take my time, take a big breath in, make sure I get depth, and then pop up. It was heavy, but it wasn't that bad. Big confidence booster leading into the Arnold. Definitely going to do more videos on squats. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.